A readable edition of Co.Litt, Book, Chapter, and Section 1, Fee Simple. Tenant in fee simple is he who has lands or tenements to hold to him and his heirs forever. Therefore, if a man purchase lands or tenements in fee simple, it behoves him to have these words in his purchase, to have and to hold to him and his heirs, for it is these words, his heirs, that make the estate of inheritance. If a man purchase lands by these words, to have and to hold to him forever, or by these words, to have and to hold to him and his assigns forever, in these cases he hath but an estate for term of life, for that there lack the words his heirs, which words only make an estate of inheritance in all fiefments and grants. Tenant. In Latin, tenant is derived from the verb teneo, and has in law several significations. 1. It signifies the estate of the tenant in the land, and 2. It signifies the tenure or service whereby the lands or tenements are holden. All lands and tenements in England in the hands of subjects are holden immediately or immediately of the king, and therefore the owner of the land is called a tenant because he holds of some superior law by some service. The king in this sense cannot be said to be a tenant, because he has no superior but God Almighty. Of the several estates and of land our author treats in his first book, and he begins with fee simple, because all other estates are derived out of the same. Fee simple. Fee legally signifies inheritance, and simple is added for that it is descendable to heirs generally, that is, simply without restraint to heirs of the body or the like. Of fee simple it is commonly holden that there be three kinds, viz. Fee simple absolute, fee simple conditional, and fee simple qualified or base. But the more genuine and apt division were to divide fee, that is inheritance, into three parts, viz. Simple or absolute, conditional, and qualified or base. For this word simple properly excludes both conditions and limitations that defeat or abridge the fee. Hereby it appears that fee in legal understanding signifies that the land belongs to us and our heirs, in respect whereof the owner is said to be seized in fee, and in this sense the king even may be said to be seized in fee. Of fee in the first sense our author treats in his first book, and as it is taken in the second sense, in his second book, and of the third ye shall read in our author section 13, 644 and 645. Lands or tenements. Here it is to be observed that a man may have a fee simple in three kinds of hereditaments, viz. Real, personal, and mixed. Real, as lands and tenements whereof our author here speaks. Personal, as if an annuity be granted to a man and his heirs, it is a fee simple personal. And lastly, hereditaments may be mixed both of the realty and personalty. As when the king creates an earl of such a county or other place, to hold that dignity him and his heirs, this dignity is personal, and also concerns lands and tenements, but of this matter more shall be said in the next chapter, section 14 and 15. A lawful or pure inheritance. Here it is well put in the disjunctive lawful or pure, for every fee simple is not lawful. A decisor, abater, intruder, usurper, etc. have a fee simple, but it is not a lawful fee, so that every man who has a fee simple has it either by right or by wrong. If by right, then he has it either by purchase or descent. If by wrong, then either by disseisin, intrusion, abatement, usurpation, etc. In this chapter, Littleton treats only of a lawful fee simple, and divides the same as is aforesaid. For if a man purchase. Persons capable of purchase are of two sorts: natural persons created of God, as ISIN, etc., which is an identifier of a trust, and persons incorporate or politic created by the policy of man, who are therefore called bodies politic, and these be of two sorts, viz. Either sole or aggregate of many. Again, aggregate of many, either of all persons capable, or of one person capable and the rest incapable or dead in law, as in the chapter of discontinuance, section 655, shall be shown. Some men have capacity to purchase, but not ability to hold. Some, capacity to purchase and ability to hold, or not at the election of themselves or others. Some, capacity to take and to hold. Some, neither capacity to take nor to hold, and some are specially disabled to take some particular things. If an alien Christian or infidel purchase houses, lands, tenements, or hereditaments to him and his heirs, albeit he can have no heirs, yet he is of capacity to take a fee simple, but not to hold, For upon an office found, the king shall have it by his prerogative of whomsoever the land is holden. And so it is if an alien purchases land and dies, the law casts the freehold and inheritance upon the king. If an alien purchase any estate of freehold in houses, lands, tenements, or hereditaments, the king upon office shall have them. If an alien be made a denizen and purchase land, and die without issue, the lord of the fee shall have the escheat, and not the king. But as to a lease for years, there is a diversity between a lease for years of a house for the habitation of merchant, stranger being an alien, whose king is in league with ours, and a lease for years of lands, meadows, pastures, woods, and the like. For if he take a lease for years of lands, meadows, etc., upon office found, the king shall have it. But of a house for habitation he may take a lease for years as incident to commerce, for without habitation he cannot merchandise or trade. But if he depart or relinquish the realm, the king shall have the lease. So it is, if he die possessed thereof, neither his executors or administrators shall have it, but the king, for he had it only for habitation as necessary to his trade or traffic, and not for the benefit of his executor or administrator. But if the alien be no merchant, then the king shall have the lease for years, albeit it were for his habitation, and so it is if he had been an alien enemy. And all this was resolved by judges assembled for that purpose in the case of Sir James Croft, passage 29 of the reign of Queen Elizabeth. Also, if a man commit felony, and after purchase lands, and after is attainted, he had capacity to purchase, but not to hold it. For in that case the lord of the fee shall have the escheat, and if a man be attainted of felony, yet he has capacity to purchase to him and to his heirs, albeit he can have no heir, he cannot hold it, for in that case the king shall have it by his prerogative, and not the lord a fee. For a man attainted have no capacity to purchase, being a man civiliter mortuus, civilly dead, but only for the benefit of the king, no more than the alienee has. If any sole corporation or aggregate of many, either ecclesiastical or temporal, the words of the statute of Mortmain, 7 Edward I, chapter 2, are qui religiosus vel alius purchase lands or tenements in fee, they have capacity to take but not to retain unless they have a sufficient license in that behalf. For within the year after the alienation the next lord of the fee may enter, and if he do not, then the next immediate lord to have half a year, and so of all the mesne lords up to the king, who shall have the land so aliened for ever in default of the other lords. But this is to be understood of such inheritances as may be holden. Of inheritances which are not holden of any, as rent charges, commons, and the like, the king shall have them presently by a favourable interpretation of the statutes. But an annuity granted to a corporation is not considered as in mortmain, because it charges the person only. And lands granted to a corporation are said to be in mortmain, because the lands are as to the superior lords dead to their services. For an alienation in mortmain they lose their escheats and the services of their knights, and the feudal incidents of wardship, marriage, reliefs, and the like, and therefore such an alienation is said to be in mortmain or dead hand, for that a dead hand yields no service. An infant or minor, all are such who are under age of 21 years, has, without the consent of any other person, capacity to purchase, and the law will assume that such purchase is for his benefit, but at his full age he may either agree thereunto and perfect it, or without cause to be alleged waive or disagree to that purchase, and so may his heirs after him, if he agreed not thereunto after his full age. A man of non-sane memory may, without the consent of any other, purchase lands, and he himself cannot waive it, but if he die in his madness, or after his memory recover without agreement thereunto, his heirs may waive and disagree to the estate purchase without any cause shown, and so of an idiot. But if the man of non-sane memory recover his memory and agree to the purchase, then it is unavoidable. And note that an hermaphrodite may purchase land according to that sex which prevails.